looked in your eyes and I could see. What's that? Love so dangerously. You're not trusting your heart to anyone. You told me you're gonna play it smile. We knew before we started that I believe that we've only just begun. When it's this good, there's no saying no. I need you so I'm ready to go. Here we are. Through the fire, to the limit, to the wall. For a chance to be with you, I gladly risk it all. Through the fire, to the limit, for a chance to loving you, I take it all away. Right down to the one, even through the fire.
Now imagine if you sang that song to yourself, deep in through the fire, whatever comes my way, a chance to be with you. Man, come on. I give it all away, right down to the fire, right down to the wire, deep into the fire. Black healing matters. This is that part 2 of the Divine Feminine, the intro. Yeah, I had that song set. I remember just playing it and playing it and playing it as a child, feeling the emotion of that Shaka Khan, realizing how important in this journey when I connected that song to the Black woman's journey of understanding who she is. I can see that you're not just giving your heart to just anyone. She's talking to herself. A chance to be with you. Be with her greatest self. How powerful is that? When a Black woman falls in love with overcoming the trauma. And so in that process of getting to this the divine feminine journey, we have to understand what she fights. She, Black woman, you have to understand what you fight. It is not, it goes beyond your childhood of your mama and your father. It goes beyond the issues of any type of assaults. It goes beyond bad relationships. The greatest trauma, I said the hardest thing for a Black woman to do is live in a world run by men. Trying to express the God in her that she is the mother of all humanity. Wow. Emotional time. Where I'm tapping into my ex right now. Every being that she sees comes from her lineage. And she looks at the world that she gave birth to unconsciously. This is why when you start doing the work, it's the mind and the wombs. When you realize who you are in humanity and how your children are giving you no art, that's the beginning of your trauma. The beginning of your trauma starts with the colonization of your homeland. Wait a minute, I am an abundant being coming from an abundant location where I birthed the entire humanity. The colonization of your country where God placed you to mimic its creation with the creation of life. Creation is you're meant to build societies and kingdom to give the creator praise. to slavery. The mark of slavery is not, and so the black woman here in the Americas, two tri-level trauma. The trauma of the mark of slavery from being here in the Americas and a trauma of colonization. You created a home that could feed humanity, that had the ability, your groceries were there, your wood, your resources, everything that was there for you to create life for your children was on the continent. So not only you get stripped from that continent, that's the first level trauma. The second level trauma, because now you don't have the resources you need to mass produce community. This is why the black woman, it doesn't matter what phase of life we go through, the black woman holds it down for the family. It is what you were created to do and be. And then you came here to be a slave. They got colonized. Africa got colonized, so they got indoctrinated to be something things. And of course they brought them. That's us. We were brought over here, and they stayed and got colonized. So there's different levels of this trauma. So when you sitting back and you looking and you seeing, you braiding hair exactly like home. It's a double ever of trauma. Why? Because the land that God gave me to produce, y'all know Luther Vandross, a house is a home. If there's no one there to turn the key, I ain't gonna sing for y'all. One of these days I will though. I got it, but I ain't gonna do it. And he walks in and there's still there's nobody there. You can't have a house. A man brings a woman to a house, and the woman makes it a home. The man gives the woman land. She produces the vegetables. The man gives him an idea. She crafts the business. If the man does the business, she makes sure she stabilizes his healing center. It is the woman that does everything that helps us create empires. Period. And so you have a double layer of trauma. If you sat back and realized that every person that I see, my family, which is human society, my family is being run by my recessive gene. The sickness of the human construct of man. Your home, which is the globe, the planet, is being run by the immature child. Not giving you your honor. Why? You double. And so he gives you your identity. And you know who you are. We've been given that. You know your greatness, your power, your inner strength. But what he gives you, all the world contends with, is feeding you your trauma, which is feeding you bad medicine. And then when you get to the point where you understand that double level of trauma, so this really tri-level, because we're experiencing, because it could be tri, because the current day and time, slavery is over. Is it? Modern day slavery, and we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. I see you, Chikesa. I'm giving y'all some honor. We are a part of the Shrines of the Black Madonna, and I'm going to honor y'all because I understand y'all struggle. The black man can complain the white man's against me, but when you got a black woman standing by your side who knows who she is and battles through her trauma to find her God self, there's nothing that can hold that brother down, because he begins to understand why we were built as God muscle. You weren't built as God muscle to rule over the woman. You was built as God muscle to protect her from something like this. This is why they keep the black woman eye closed. Not eyes closed, but eye closed. And in the process of inheriting this double trauma, They crafted your thinking to not need a black man. Mm. I did that in my HBCU sermon. Yep, might have to repurpose that one. They crafted the black woman's thinking through these trauma, not to feel like she cannot lean on the black man for safety, insurance, nothing. You want to love, protect, and respect the black woman. Not with this. You don't believe in the black man enough from this to throw your life in. And then unconsciously, every time we do it, I always tell sisters who have coming out of bad relationships that I shouldn't have known. If you surrender to the experience of creating a family, you are actually more in tune to what God would want you to do than the brother was. You weren't the wrong person giving in. You have to now build onto your intuition on who to give in to. And that's with even leadership. You don't give in to everybody. Let your tuition ride. But you got to get past this trauma. Now, if they crafted you to dislike yourself, and that was another part of going into the divine feminine, which is self-love, loving the little girl in you, and then not just loving the little girl in you, going back 6, 7, 8 generations, healing the wounds of those who also experienced this trauma, until you get to those generations of ancestors who walked as real queens, knowing their identity, and you're getting fed that information from them and the other ones that come after them, because why? They're healed too. They exist in your DNA. As you heal, they heal, and your bloodline becomes stronger. But this is what you fight through. When I realized, wait a minute, if I was, I'm a father, and I see my children starving in Africa, in my home, Africa, where the creator, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, the father, mother God of all creation placed us to feed our children. How can you go starving in Africa? Easy. The recessive gene is running the world. It hurts. That hurts. If I see myself as a father of humanity, what does it mean to a woman who has to carry the child within? Man, I was going through this, and I sat down and said, I'm going to feel this with y'all, because I can't be my greatest self if I don't understand who you are. And so now, if you were set to dislike yourself, you were set to also not be connected to your man, then they said you will raise your children because of the trauma. You will raise your children to believe in the world that we create. Because if you're raising children and you're not teaching children to be self-defiant, self-determined, not self-defined, but self-determined and defiant against society, you're not raising individuals to war against the machine. You didn't raise them. All you did was help them live with their trauma. Right. My mother said, I feel I'm worried about you, Ajay. I said, why, mommy? I was young. What's going on? Why you worried about me? She said, you're going to be the son that don't make it. What you mean? She said, because you don't conform. I said, Ma, I ain't planning to. I said, I don't believe the part of your, and I didn't understand it back then, but I understand it now clear. And I remember when I was 9 years old when I told her I wouldn't be listening to you every move. She knocked me out. Got back up. I said, hear me out. And I explained myself at 9, and she was looking at me like, oh, man, he's thinking too deep. Because I was. And I remember the punch in the face. I flew across the room when I told her I won't be listening to you. Why? Because I want to grow up a certain way. Because in the hood, you got to stand up to fight something. And mommy, she don't want you out there in the street fighting. But my fight showed me how to fight for the development of my community. In the end, she loved everything about what I was doing and said, I better never leave the shrine of the Black Madonna. She said, because they really woke you up. But when you have these traumas built in, and you have children that you're teaching your children, after a while, right, you don't even know it. You think you're guiding them right, but they develop inherited trauma. Inherited trauma, not from any generation before, but from the actual parents that are sitting there that you can touch and feel. That particular trauma is a part of you, and it's taught. You gave it to your children. Your children will give it to your children. However, now because we have more accesses to information and we've read and realized that certain teachings of certain spiritual disciplines were wrong, we're trying to undo the inherited trauma from our parents. And then once we can heal from that, let's go out let's go after the bigger trauma and build something. But this is what the black woman goes through on her journey. Because can you imagine? Oh man, I had a conversation with a sister, and as we were having some deep conversation, she said, "Brother, you make me realize that I did my children some injustice." And I said, "Yep." I said, "I didn't want to say that. I just wanted to talk." We were talking about that particular topic, and I said, you know, real talk. I sat down and I told her, I said, "You're gonna kill your son." She's like, "What?" I said, "You're gonna kill him, not physically, but spiritually, because right now he's a Mustang. The brother trying to find who he is. He gonna go after what he want, build what he sees. But when you sit down and tell him a man needs to have a job and pay his bills, and you need to know how to," I said, "The boy just got out of college, and he's a creator. He's creative with his genius, and he's genius. I ain't gonna say no names because you might be watching. And I have a lot of friends who know friends, and she knows who I'm talking about." And in the end, she had to take a deep breath because it killed his creative genius. You need just to get you a job. No. Who are you? Who are you is what he needs. Who are you? Whose are you? Because at certain times when you're inheriting trauma, you're telling him you belong to the system. You need to go work for the man and pay his bills. Now, I'm not saying you don't tell a brother not to pay bills, but you give him an identity as being a black man under God before you get out there and you fight with the world. So when you're 18 and you like, okay, um, did I do it right? Because you're looking at your sons and they're not productive. And it's not because they don't have a father in the house, because certain laws of nature and community and the universe, laws of the universe don't have a gender. Doesn't. You can teach self-determination to anybody if you show them who they are, whose they are, and why we're here as a people. So you got to be careful. The black woman, in order to reach this journey of searching for the divine feminine, has to go through dealing with her inherited trauma. For a woman to look back and realize that I didn't know what I needed to make my seed as good as it not needed to be. That hurts. And she has to heal from that. Because we all know the first education to a child is an education unto God. That's what Work of Akibaland is about. I'm going to teach you who you are in God. Now, I'm not the first teacher. I'm supposed to be supplementing what they're already learning from who? Well, Malcolm says the mother is the first teacher of the child. The message she gives that child gives to the world. She is. You are the first educator of every being that has ever walked the planet. You are. And what comes out of you is what we will create around us. You are. And being able to see yourself in that light. I am the first teacher. I am my own healer. I am the healer for everyone around me. You are. The black man has the ability to, yes, self-heal, but not on the level of a black. We just don't. We God muscle. I say it again, and I love the fact that I'm God muscle. When people hear me say my Y chromosome is capitalized because I'm God muscle. I can look at any negative energy. They said, the demons come attack. Let them come. God, you want to test my gangster? Send me up against some adversity and watch me more than survive. I conquer it. I'm God muscle. I'm built that way. The woman is just divine energy. What? She can go to war if she chooses. Hey, Jazz, what's going on? Good evening. And I'm up. I could talk about you, Jazz, because I know pieces of your journey. Single mom in it. The first teacher. And if you not right, little man ain't gonna be right. And that's why that self-healing has to happen. This journey to the divine feminine, the awareness of your God power, how to heal from within. So you become the healer of everything around you. Black women are doing it more and more and more. I would love, and this is a challenge to the black women in my community. We don't do it. There used to be a group of sisters called the Holy Order of Nzinga, and I only heard about it because it by the time I got to the church, it was over. I'm like, why? And there's some sisters who are still around the community who was a part of the Holy Order of Nzinga. And there are some powerful sisters. So now when you have one sister walking in her power, what is it like and then she's double X chromosome. So she's double amplified to be her. When she's in tune, she's double amplified. Oh, women is too emotional. Yeah, she's supposed to be. She's double amplified. Oh, okay. You've been doing the work. She said, "Yep, I've been doing the work almost 2 years healing." I hear you. It's necessary. It's necessary. And so now in that space, and Jazz, I might even ask you to come on the show because we haven't had a show conversation. We can do that. You and I could do that. It's absolutely necessary because without it, we can't be moms. You can't be a grandma. They got this new word called glamour now. Glamour. Oh, I'm glamorous. Wait. So you buying into the contamination of what a black woman, they condition the black woman to be. You're not walking around as the wisdom of your family. You're walking around as somehow you trying to challenge your daughter for the man. What is this? Glamour. Man, man. I wish my mother would. My mother knew what time it was. Yo, ma, yeah, we don't do that. Walk in your glory of your wisdom, and that's all my kid needs, and that's exactly what she got. We did the makeovers and everything. Why? Because you're walking wisdom to a child. Because you are literally the first teacher. And if you don't do this work, black woman, this planet won't change. It needs you. It needs you. We looking for male leader after male leader after male leader after male leader, and we get nowhere. Why? Because they're male leaders. Put a black woman in tune to her divine feminine and match her with a divine masculine. And then we produce God for real. We produce God for real. Those energies come together. This Mother's Day, this Mother's Day is about giving honor to the women who are making this journey because this is a hard journey for them to take. And I give it up to y'all. I give it up to y'all. I'm gonna be talking about this and talking to sisters, and it's the most beautiful thing that I've ever heard about and talked about and studied. Am I prepared to be the man? And yeah, I'm working on it. I got some other stuff that I got to do, but I'm working on me. There is no brother. And you don't see no. Wait, this real talk. There are no brothers talking about divine masculine and coming into our masculinity and doing this. This not a conversation. We ain't doing that. And then when you come across brothers who are on this level, man, please, you get one lion sitting in a room with other lions. Those lions start feeling jealous, and so we fight in the way we acknowledge a black man, the power of a black man, but working with a black man who might be better than you, mm, that ain't easy. These old lions we got in our community ain't moving when you got young lions roaring louder than they could ever dream of. And instead of being platforms to let the continuity of our legacy of men develop, they want to get in your way. One of these days, I'm going to have a personal conversation about those who get in the way. There are black men that are healing, and we are. And no, I'm not saying that they're not. Girl, you know I got to get you on the show. I love talking to you. We go at it. I love talking to you. I love it. I'm not saying that. I said the majority, when you look at the percentages of black women, you don't have the groups the way you around the world. You don't have it like black men are not doing it on that same level. And I said they have to match that same journey. I'm speaking to Jazz up in here, real talk. Me and Jazz know each other from the club days. And bump into each other in the club days, we wouldn't have known the consciousness of who we are until we stepped out of that environment. Stepping out of that environment, I can see sisters going to work. I can see some brothers doing some work. But I tell you this, search the internet for this and show me all black men. Search the internet for this image and show me all black men doing work. See, you are in the wrong room if you're in the room full of people who don't support you. And that might be right. Or one love, I ain't gonna say his name. I had Chunga call me today. Chunga called me today, and he every time Chunga calls me, he literally says, Jay, you know what your mission is. Yes, I do. So in the area of liberation of black people, everybody has their own assignment. And some people's assignment is not what other people's assignments are. So if you're in the wrong room, maybe the creator puts you in that room. And I know how you fight, Ayana, in terms of being heard and the people who don't support you. You're in that room for a reason. That doesn't mean you just completely leave the room or that's the only room you're a part of. Because knowing you have made yourself relevant in multiple rooms. And you're still working in the room. And wait, girl, you manifested your healing self powers a couple of weeks ago. You feel me? And I told you, girl, please, 20 years from now, you the one. Why? Because I see me and you, and I know what fighter looks like. You understand that there is a call on your life, and I'm going to fight for my call, regardless whether you see it or not. I know who I am. Got you. You a bad sister. You a bad sister. And sometimes, and this is another thing you missed this earlier when we talked about in this process healing up in the divine feminine, women go through controlling the issue and the power of time, the law of time. Black men cannot unify or harmonize their body with the movement of the universe. Black women can. And so there's a moment where you sit down and say, this door belongs to me. I walk through it. It's my time. Why? Not because someone told you. It's because of feeling you have. And your ancestors were able to align the opportunity for you to manifest at that time. Black men just try to take every time they can. I'm going to get a chance. I'm going to do that. You can feel the moment. Of course, others created the environment of the gathering. But you said now is my time. That's this. Because you've been in those circles, in those rooms, in those doors, and we still got to work on the heart. And I think you missed that part where sometimes they don't you to access chakra, chakra, chakra. You have to deal with the green part. The heart is the doorway to the higher frequencies. And it'd be times where we want to blow up on people, like I did blow up on Sunday. I have to deal with the heart so that my words are more powerful than my anger. That's what I learned from that situation. And that's what you've learned in your journey. That your words and your access and your how you move is more powerful than the anger. And that's the beautiful thing about sisters moving towards the divine feminine. And that's where we're going. Emotional intelligence. Amen. And that's what we're working on, and that's where we're getting at. It's so many different, and I knocked down. We said womb healing, which is women have two wombs, the creation center and the creation center, high and low wombs. Then we talked about the language of healing, the language of the moving toward the divine feminine, the power of your words. How you said, I love affirmations. It's being able to speak life within. It said women seek medicine until they become the medicine. We talked about the healing of the garden, the eating habits, feeding, where food becomes your medicine. Then there is the heart healing and emotions, because the heart is the doorway to the higher frequency dwelling, the consciousness. And if you can't get the heart right, if it's not balanced, you don't enter into those fields. Those fields do not open as much as they should because the heart is not right. We talked about the mastering of time and the fact that for a woman journeying to the divine feminine, mastering time is a season is 24 hours because your body moves with the universe. So every 24 hours you're in a new season. With that understanding, season starts again. Season starts a new season, new season, new season. You're never in the same place. Because in those and then those 30 days, you have a cleansing. You can connect with time. You'll feel time. We talked about then also your intuition. That's when you get past the heart chakra, when you start getting into your God consciousness. And the information in your DNA is released unto you, things that you don't yeah. I need you to go over to the store on Monday, knock on the door. There's going to be somebody that answers the door, and you're going to find this. A woman's intuition is powerful. My baby's sick. Why? Because I could feel the crying in the universe. Women who know that their child, there's a level of consciousness that you have. Now we have it. Black men have all of it. Not on the magnitude of having double X chromosomes. It's not there. It's just not there. You're amplified. Double amplified for you being you. We are half divine feminine and divine masculine. Now, of course, in women, you have divine masculine in you because of your chromosome, but you have two double X's. But you do have your father's traits, but you have double X's. So you're double amplified you. That's why they say women are emotional and men are rational. We think, you feel. Together, that's a movement. It's a body. We experience God. It's a beautiful thing. And so with that, and I wish I had I'm every, I had a version of I'm every woman, but I don't. But this is the intro and the beginning of this conversation. This is a journey, and I will probably be calling, but we balance each other. Yep, we do. That's why it's important to be in relationship with exactly. Exactly. It is definitely important. We can't do this without each other. We cannot do this without each other. And that's why men have to make that journey toward the divine masculine. Women make the journey toward the divine feminine. And then you move toward each other. You're there. It'd be good if you're in a relationship and you're making this journey together. That's a true power couple. Not two people who can go out and make money. No. Two people who walk in the awareness of who they are and complement each other and can move a people back toward nationhood and self-determination. Because if your divine feminine ain't talking to you about building your kingdom back, then it's not talking. Because a mother needs to control her home. It don't matter what condition your mama in. If you was living with your mama in her house, she got the rules. Right now, your recessive traded gene children are running your home. So you know that you are a full-fledged functioning in your divine feminine when you are teaching those around you the necessity of bringing the home back together, back under the rule of who we are. That's that power. We celebrate Mother's Day starting early. I appreciate I had to meditate and pray on this journey to heal myself. I had to see the black woman in order for me to see the black man in me. Ain't that something? And vice versa. You got these sisters who sit down and they'll say, black man, I love you, black man this, and they do these affirmations. That's beautiful. Because you're taking time to see yourself. So you see, and this is why there's a lot of things that are going in life that these liberals are doing. I don't believe in most of it because there are down the line rules of the universe. And there's no way someone dating outside their race can find someone who truly understands a black woman making this journey. We'll never understand you because we made the journey too to be the opposite, to complement you, to complement this world, to experience the God that we can create when standing together, that power. Can't wait to dive into more of this. I apologize again for the choppiness. I was going to get this started one way or the other. And so I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be going in more and deeper detail as Mother's Day come. I'll have people talking and having dialogue and conversation. And so, yeah, Ayana, if you want to be down and have this live conversation, let's talk about it. You too, Jazz. You ready? Let's talk about it. I'm open. Shakesha, you can come on too. I got you. Let's talk about it. I have my mother out of Cleveland. She wants to talk about it. She already told me. She said, I want to be a part of this. I said, I'm in. So let's get it. So with that being said, y'all enjoy the coming of your Mother's Day. And it's not one day. It is the day that the world sees you for who and whose you are. With that being said, one love. I had that. Hey, where you at? Oh, well, one love. Let me find a way out of here.
If I had to choose, I would still choose you. After all the things society has told you to imbue, somehow your light has been able to shine through. The power resides within divine feminine, not only in women, but also in men. The balance obtained here is what will light our feet on the path to come. It is the strength that we keep near that will allow our spirits to hold steadfast and not succumb. the energy of love, of life, of all creation, the spark of light in the womb that combusts, evolves into a nation. The divine feminine, the power held so dearly. The divine feminine, the scope that allows us to see one humanity again so clearly. The power that we hold, the sparkling in our eyes, how our self and inner beauty unfold in the truth seen beyond the disguise. Oh, you are divine, Mother Nature, Mother Earth. I am thankful daily for all of the miracles that you birth. When I sit and I truly ponder the things that I'm grateful for, my heart does not wander. Because I know truth, and truth is love. If you live through understanding of self, then nothing comes above. When you understand your oneness with nature and all else that surrounds, you stop being disturbed by all of the external sounds. You realize the silence within yourself. You understand the meaning of true wealth. It is your health. Everything you intake then becomes part of your body, your temple, your physical self. Understand that the keys to your kingdom again lie within yourself. With all of this, we must remember, there is nothing here with which we are not members. We must honor and respect the environment as ourselves, because we are directly impacted by everything we output, and that equates to our health. Kindness, love, grace. Allow heaven to become embodiment, much more than a place. And when things seem difficult, you are able to face, because through your divine feminine, you will recall your righteousness that cannot be replaced.